It started with a weird, piercing sound.
It was persistent,
high-pitched sound,
very, very loud.
Those who heard it told newspapers it was soon followed by
strong nausea,
an incredible case of vertigo,
dizziness,
excruciating headaches.
These mysterious afflictions were first reported in the Cuban capital in 2016, and they were thus called
Havana syndrome.
Havana syndrome.
Since then, more cases have been reported in China, Vienna, and now also Berlin. The symptoms were described as
an invisible injury.
Many victims reported brain damage without ever sustaining a concussion. What's even stranger is that of about 200 reported cases, nearly half involved CIA agents. That's why these incidents started to look a lot like
sonic attacks.
Attack of unknown nature with a mysterious invisible weapon.
Behind every wall, every window, the world behind the world, and we're smack in the middle. Angels and demons can't cross over onto our plane, so instead we get what I call half-breeds, the influence peddlers. They can only whisper in our ears, and a single word can give you courage, or turn your favorite pleasure into your worst nightmare. Those with a demon's touch, like those part angel, living alongside us. They call it the balance. I call it hypocritical bullshit.
Do you ever get the feeling like you're in the Matrix, like the people around you have been body snatched or assimilated? It's obvious that the people on television don't pass the Turing test, and neither do most of the people around you, especially when you bring up the obvious facts of what's going on. It almost feels like you're all alone, like you're the only human left. Do you ever get that feeling? Of course you do. Now the question is, what happened to all of these other people? We think we have an answer to that. And the key to understanding what happened to these people is this Havana syndrome. It's this phenomenon of targeted individuals and gang stalking, like something is coming after them, trying to get them. This is the assimilation. The Havana syndrome is the assimilation process. Many of us thought maybe it was the vaccines, maybe it was the fast food, maybe they've put it in the water, the nanotech or whatever is assimilating people. But perhaps there's something else going on. And our feeling here, and of course this is just a hypothesis at this stage, our feeling here is that this Havana syndrome, gang stalking, targeted individual phenomenon is the process of assimilation that has happened to each and every one of the zombies or the NPCs that are out there in this matrix.
Peace and blessings, my lovely butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please check out the content, and if you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. I have something very important to talk to you guys about, and I want you guys to really pay attention to what I'm saying, meaning that it is very important that you guys stay through this entire video, because I feel like what I'm about to talk about today is something that everyone who is watching this video right now or who will come across this video is actually going through. I've been getting awakened at 2 a.m. or a little after 2 a.m. for the last few days, and I can tell that this was the Most High waking me up, putting something on my mind. And I also noticed that I've been feeling a little thrown off lately, spiritually, as far as trying to maintain through this warfare. I'm just going to be honest, guys. I'm trying to make sure I process everything and not let my heart and emotions get in the way and stand strong like I always, encourage you guys to do. Also, when I was going through these spiritual attacks that I've been going through for the last couple of days, I noticed a ringing in my ear, a loud ringing noise. And I feel that when I was misled by New Age spirituality, I was led in the past to believe that those ringing noises were angels trying to communicate with us, as well as angel numbers and all these other New Age things that are being reintroduced to society, claiming to be a part of God's kingdom. And these are not the same angels, and it's most certainly not God behind a lot of these supernatural experiences. So I feel that the Holy Spirit led me to do some more research, and I came across something very interesting, guys. As you can tell by the clips that were shown at the beginning of the video, the loud ringing in my ear had been happening, but I noticed when it was happening, I was also being spiritually attacked. So a YouTube video from a YouTuber by the name of Miss Stephanie P. Smith. She has a very good channel. She spreads prophetic word for the Most High, and she's very accurate with a lot of things. And I love her channel, and I think you guys should most certainly check her out. And right as I was feeling this, her video came up saying that the ringing, that, if you're hearing ringing in your ear, is coming from witchcraft attacks. And right then and there, when she said that, I automatically thank God, because I feel that He sent me to her video as, for confirmation that I was being spiritually attacked, and to let me know that I had been deceived by the ringing of the ears. So I want to let you guys know that if you guys have been hearing a loud ringing in your ears, I mean, like very close range, and it doesn't even have to be close range, just hearing a ringing in your ears, just know that you should right then and there stop what you're doing, pray, and rebuke against the spirits that are trying to perform witchcraft against you, because that is most certainly what's happening. And there's also something else that's happening, and I found some research. My credible source is Wikipedia, and I came across something called Havana syndrome. And Havana syndrome is something that consists of various idiopathic symptoms. Idiopathic means that they were never able to find the source of where these symptoms were coming from. And they were mainly experienced by people who were of U.S. government officials and people of military personnel. And these symptoms consisted of a severe pain and a ringing of the ears. It also consisted of cognitive dysfunctioning, meaning short-term, long to long-term memory loss, a hard time paying attention, a very short attention span, visual and auditory dysfunctioning, kind of making it hard for some people to communicate and to also see certain things, their vision was becoming distorted. Also, it was affecting the brain, making it hard for people to make decisions and to develop effective problem-solving skills. And these conditions were first reported, guys, in 2016. So if you think about that, that was just 7 years ago. That wasn't a long time at all. It was reported by the U.S. and Canadian Embassy, and also by the work staff in Havana, Cuba. And this is in Cuba, by the way, guys. There's a hotel in Cuba by the name of the Hotel National in Havana. And a lot of the symptoms were being reported from that location mainly. And it drew a lot of red flags because although all of these people were having these same symptoms, and even also as reported in different locations, no one was able to pinpoint where these symptoms were coming from. In 2017, more individuals from the U.S. Government official and military personnel also reported these same symptoms. And not only did they report the symptoms this time, also their family members. And these were people that were nowhere in the reported locations to where these symptoms were mainly taking place. So that also raised a lot of red flags, especially with me. A lot of the other reporting places were China, Europe, India, and Washington, D.C. Well, by that being 7 years ago, guys, and since there are other people in states and countries other than the ones that were mentioned, it lets you know that there is a source behind these symptoms. And many people were coming forward. Many scientists were doing research over the years, and they were coming to the conclusion that it was coming from, some unknown technologies, possibly electronic weapons, things of that such. But then they came back to report that they were not able to find any evidence to back up their claims. So, after doing some further research, I'm going to read this to you guys, something that I came across when researching this. And this lets you know that there's something bigger taking place in the world. A more recent update says March 2023, the U.S. intelligence agency completed a review of the proposed cases of Havana syndrome and released an unclassified report with consensus that available intelligence consistency points against the involvement of U.S. adversaries in causing the reported incidents, and that a foreign adversary involvement was very unlikely. So this is pretty much after research, this is the U.S. intelligence agency stating that after all of their research, they still were not able to find a cause. So as you can see through the clips at the beginning of the video, many people are aware that there is something else most certainly taking place. There is something going on spiritually and, behind the scenes. And Havana syndrome is being labeled as a gangstalking tactic because it is another form that is taking place. It's pretty much dark forces using witchcraft through electronic frequencies. But they're placing some sort of conspiracy on it because although there are many people, government officials that are being attacked by this, there are also other government officials behind the scenes that is the main reason for this happening, because many scientists are underhandedly dabbling in creating different type of electronic weapon frequencies often. And I really feel that these weapons are purchased by, people that have higher authorities and that are able to use them in society without anyone knowing. And I also feel that the reason why the family members and also the people, the other officials and personnel, military personnel, were being attacked because they probably was breaking out of some type of mind control that they were under, or was becoming aware of something, and they were becoming a threat, as well as their family. So they were being attacked. And as with this being used as a gang stalking tactic, just know that there isn't a coincidence that people are they're repeating the same catchphrases to you when you're being harassed. Pay attention to what people are saying to you, because you're wondering, how does some of these people, you're for certain they don't know each other. You're in a different place, but you're hearing the same phrases. And this is because a lot of these forces are being transferred through demonic energies, but it's being transferred electronically through frequency. And this is why sometimes people may appear to be themselves, but they act outside of their body. And this is because they are being body snatched through these techniques that are being developed behind the scenes. They're most certainly being body snatched. And once they're body snatched, they can be used for whatever they need to be used for by the enemy. Especially when it comes to planning out and orchestrating tactics against target individuals. I'm going to do a separate video on body snatching because I have so much to talk about, on pertaining to this subject. But I just want to let you guys know the definition of body snatching. And it means your body being taken over by a foreign intelligence or a spirit. That foreign intelligence is being referred to as electronic frequencies, the microwave auditory effect, different electronic weapons that have been developed by scientists in order to place mind control upon society, whoever they feel that is a threat. Or, a lot of these scientists are being paid to come up with these experiments. They're being paid by a lot of these U.S. officials that are probably, that are claiming that they don't know where these things are coming from. It also means being reduced to a spectator, which means that this is your body at a low vibration, and now it's vulnerable to the demonic spirit to take over. So two things can happen when your body's snatched. You can be reduced to the spectator, which means they have control over you, but not a full control. And in this case, especially when pertaining to Havana syndrome, many people still have their mind, but they're out of their body. They're acting out of their body. They may even say things that they wouldn't normally say, even though they're still operating through their own mind. And you could also be in a case where your soul is completely snatched. And this usually happens when a person is more subjective to the control. And I know that may sound very weird, but there are many, especially ones that are willing to do the gang stalking. They are the ones that are subjective to this type of control. Especially, there are many people out there on payroll to gang stalk. And know that they are completely body snatched. They are completely being controlled by another spirit at this time in order to harass, taunt, and mock target individuals. It's really, this really kind of, it has me thinking a lot, guys, because a lot of the gang stalking tactics that I research, they usually go way back. And this is one of the ones that I've done that has been the most recent, taking place in 2016. So it lets you know that there's nothing new under the sun. These things have been going on and they're still going on. The only thing is now they're trying to find new ways to do it. It's like, okay, they've caught on to this. What can we do now? Because many people are waking up to these things. And the Most High is doing this. He's waking people up to what's going on. And he's using people to spread the message. And just know that Babylon is falling. These people, you know, their time is running out. So are their ideas and their tactics. They're running out because many people are starting to catch on. You know, a lot of things don't add up as to how these symptoms started to occur in certain places with certain people. And then it began to branch off to their family members. It kind of stayed in, you know, it was kind of strategic the way it happened. And I think that's what raised a lot of red flags with people. It's not just only what happened, it was the way that it happened as well. Chosen ones can be attacked as well, most certainly. At the end of the day, we are human. We can fall short. We can vibrate low. We can also be body snatched. We have to be very careful how we move out here, guys. We have to try to stay as close to God as we most possibly can. We have to do right, and we have to choose the righteous path, because there is no in between, and there's no way that you can serve two masters. It's either God or Satan. And guys, it's just, you know, I found myself letting people get me out of character to the point where I, you know, have gotten upset and not felt like myself anymore. Not even reacting to them, just how I carried that, you know, that anger with me, how I carried that pain with me, instead of just, you know, praying about it and let it go. I just carried it with me. And when you don't forgive people and you carry things with you, it creates a demonic energy. And that demonic energy, it torments you. And that's why it's good to forgive. You know, you don't have to go back and let that person, you know, back into your life, especially after the Most High has shown you something that, to let you know that this is pretty much how this person is. But forgiving is always good. And just, you know, as well as we pay attention to other people's actions, we have to pay attention to our own to make sure we're not falling victim to any of these electronic frequencies, any of this witchcraft that's being performed. And it's so hard because we're human, and a lot of these things are affecting us as well. And we, you know, we're humans with emotions. We become angry, we become happy, we become sad. You know, we go through a lot of mixed emotions in life, and you know, we're not any different from anyone else to feel these things. So we can be subject to these things as well if not careful. So I want everyone to really pay attention to what's going on, to, you know, with you and your body. A lot of these frequencies associated with Havana syndrome also cause fatigue, nausea. You know, a lot of times you're feeling good, and then out of nowhere you don't feel well, and your head's hurting, and you're nauseated, you're vomiting. This is witchcraft, and these are demonic spirits, you know, attacking your body. And they are coming from electronic frequencies, because this is how they become undetected. It can't be traced in a lot of ways. And if it can be traced, just know that they have it covered up. So, you know, a lot of people may pretend as if they don't know what's going on. But if you are hearing these ringing sounds in your ear, just know where it's coming from. Pray against it and rebuke it. Guys, this is crazy. I've been hearing those ringing noises in my ear for the last couple of days too. So I hope this video resonates. I love you guys so much. I have plenty more videos coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I want you guys to stay prayed up, stay strong, guys. Don't let anyone knock you out of your character, have you worrying, creating unnecessary anxiety for yourself. All right, guys, I love you so much, and until the next video, peace and blessings.